So since Summoner's War Reloaded Update 8.0 came out, people have been complaining that the monster evolution cost has been too high, the rune upgrade cost has been too high, and the Abyss B12 dungeons are not really worth farming because they're not dropping things that are significantly better than the B10 dungeons, and it costs more energy to farm them, and it also takes more time to farm them. I mean, there are intangible runes, but I haven't gotten one on any account that's worth mentioning. I mean, I've gotten them, they're just not anything good. So CompToUs comes out with this major update improvements notice. I'm going to be a little snarky today. I'm not snarky because I think this is a bad thing. I'm snarky because this was the intent all along. So let's discuss this. So greetings from CompToUs. After the major update went live, we've been actively checking your feedback. It's very important to know that they're actively checking your feedback so that you know that they're listening, because guys, the $2 billion CompToUs, they're on your side. They're not on their side. They're not there to make money. They're there to give you the most pleasurable gaming experience possible. It's really not about money. They're actively checking your feedback, right? We're fully aware that the results of the major update weren't satisfactory, so we'll be making the following improvements as soon as possible. Monster evolution cost readjustment. Guys, it was taking 5 4-stars before when they did the reloaded update, taking 5 4-stars to make a max level 4-star into a 5-star. That's obviously the wrong math. That's obviously very silly when it would take 4 4-stars before and then it now takes 5. Obviously, that doesn't make any sense. If you believe that it was just an oversight, that it didn't make any sense, and then it wasn't intentional so that they could come in and change it after that and seem like they're the heroes and they're doing these wonderful things for you and they're listening to viewer feedback, I don't know what to tell you guys. I got $10 billion worth of NFTs to sell you, and I'll sell it to you for only $10,000. That's just sarcasm. I don't actually have NFTs to sell you. Sorry to disappoint you. What I mean to say is that don't just believe these things were not intentional from the start, because this is definitely intentional. We'll be making the following improvements as soon as possible. Monster evolution cost readjustment. So the reduced number of entries to scenario dungeons has resulted in a decrease in the evolution materials, which, you know, that's obvious. That goes without saying. So they're adjusting them, so it's going to be cheaper to actually evolve all of these things. Monostone cost adjustment. I'm actually I was pretty excited about, even though it was more to upgrade the runes, just the fact that you could update them faster and not waste your time. I did not care that it costs more mana to upgrade runes, and it was costing more mana to upgrade runes on average. Some people did the math. I didn't personally do the math, but I don't mind. It takes a lot of mana to upgrade runes to plus 15. I know some of you don't even bother plus 15ing your runes. I've seen some of your accounts. That's a different problem entirely. That's not really necessarily a CompToUs thing, but they're decreasing the amount of mana stones that it takes to upgrade all of these artifacts. And the runes, 12 to 15 is still the same thing, but everything before that is going to be better. There's no complaints about this. My big complaint is that people think that CompToUs is actually listening. Like, this was the intent all along. This is the same thing as CompToUs releasing new 4-stars and 5-stars, and people thinking that they're going to be amazing monsters right at the gate and buying packs and packs and packs and packs to summon them, and then they're like, oh wait, they're not that good. Well, I just already bought the packs. Wow, why did I spend all of this money to summon these new monsters if they're not as good as they seem to be? So this is just how they do it. They release something that is not what it's supposed to be, and then they're like, oh, we're listening to feedback, let's make it better. Like, if you think that that's not the strategy that they're employing because they want to look good, because they already have some image issues, this is just one of many things. Rift dungeon reward improvement. Like, this was supposed to be like this at the beginning, but they made it not as good intentionally. I feel like I'm saying that 9,000 different times. Rift dungeon reward improvements. So they're going to remove rune pieces from the drop. The drop list of Rift dungeon greatly decrease the drop rate of rare gems and increase the drop rate of hero or higher gems. And then they're going to change the abyssal floor of Kairos dungeon. They decrease the drop rate of rare runes and increase the drop rate of hero or higher runes. We don't know how much. It could be like this much, and then they increase it again, and they're like, oh, we're going to increase it another this much. We don't know. They're not giving us any numbers. Typical CompToUs. And decrease the energy consumption, which is nice. All of this is going to apply this week in 8.01 update, and this is why you got the 20 mystical scrolls in your inbox and the 5 million mana stones. I mean, they did do the temporary change where they're just refunding people items in their inboxes when they evolve monsters, but this is not bad. I'm not complaining that this is bad, but I looked at the update, I looked at 8.0, I'm like, okay, there's good things in here. Some of the stuff is not great. Some of the stuff is like you're wasting energy farming B12 dungeons. I was still doing it because I'm like, I want the intangible runes. That's why I'm doing it. But it's not really massively valuable, more so than just doing the B10 dungeons before this update anyway. We'll see. I don't have very high expectations for after this update. But it's just like things were released broken on purpose. I don't believe that they accidentally did this. They don't accidentally. I know we complain that they like, oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. Like these things, a lot of these things that they're doing are wrong on purpose, and they're doing it intentionally. So please just open your eyes and keep them open to what these it is not just CompToUs. It's a lot of companies nowadays are doing stuff like this because people want to believe that their cries are heard. Anyway, that's it for this one. It's improvements either way. I like update 8.0. I like Reloaded. There were things that need to be changed, but they need to be changed from the beginning, right? And we knew that some of us knew that they were going to do this, going to modify this anyway. So anyway, that's it for this one. See you as always in the next one.